Okay. All right. Well, welcome to Summit Center for Spiritual Living, where we share universal good through love. And Michael is going to light our candle and explain what it means. Once he finds it, he knows he's going
Oh
to do that every
no.
time.
Well, here.
There's the candle.
I was not ready.
I can tell.
Oh, okay.
We're glad you
Yeah.
have all sorts at least.
See, I had all the sacred increments around or instruments around. Okay, so the candle I light is the only ritualistic thing we do here, but again, I think it has a lot of meaning. So the wax itself represents that there's only one. There's two wicks in it. The first candle that we light is that of the divinity candle, and that shows the divinity within us. And when we meet together as community, as I light the second candle, as we shine a much greater light.
All right. Well, thank you. Okay, so John, would you like to lead us in a song?
All right. I have a little joy going here for Palm Sunday. Joy in the morning, joy in the afternoon, joy in the evening, joy again soon. When we are happy, joy is how. Joy is wonderful, joy is now. Joy in our homes, joy in our world, joy in relationships, joy at the birth. When we are happy, joy is how. Joy is wonderful, joy is now. Joy in accomplishment, joy in getting done, joy in doing well, joy in having fun. When we are happy, joy is how. Joy is wonderful, joy is now. Joy is now.
Thank you, John. And today our speaker is going to be Michael, and he's going to be doing something with Palm Sunday, of course. Happy Palm Sunday to everybody. So we thank everybody for being here on this beautiful Palm Sunday. And let's see. Michael, can you do 365 for us?
Well, of course. And again, from April 13th today, it says Holmes quotes from the Gospel of John, the first chapter, third verse. It says that all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. So every human being thrills at the thought of having dreams come true. The idea means different things to different people. To one, it may mean physical health, the ability to walk and run and play and engage in activity. To another, it may mean education, a home, a car, opulence. Yet another, dreams may mean education, the ability to get along with people or to have loving mates. Again, whatever your personal desire may be, as long as they do not hurt you or someone else, you have the right to attain them, and you can. The ability to attain your goals, to control your experiences and have them result in happiness, prosperity, and success lies in your own mind and the way that you use it. This means that you control your own experience. You really are in charge of your affairs and the way that they are to develop. If your thinking processes are under your personal control, and if thought is acted upon by the creativity of mind, capital M, to produce results according to your belief, then you certainly do have the power to become the master of your own affairs and to bring to pass those good conditions that you desire. So let's keep in mind that we are not only have the God-given ability to do this kind of result-oriented thinking, but we also have the right to do it. Every thought that is a negation should be changed to an affirmation. And when we do so, that power continually flows through us, will respond, producing the new experience that we have affirmed. Science Mind 365.
All right. Thank you very much. And John, you want to lead us into meditation then, or with a song with meditation?
Creative awareness, creating and giving, ever pulsing, being and living, creative awareness, learning not to know, creative awareness, being what is so, being loving, caring for each other, loving kindness, helping one another, creative awareness, learning all to know, creative awareness, being what is so, being what is so.
And as we take in a deep breath, just release and relax and just let go. Let's take in one more deep breath. And let's leave it out. Let's breathe in peace. Exhale love. Breathe in peace. Exhale love. As we recognize Spirit, the creative awareness of all that is, the love, the peace, the joy, the power, the beauty, the light, the life, the wisdom of everything in us, as us, and through us. I recognize that we are one with Creator, with the Creator. I know that we are one. And I speak my word now for Summit Center for Spiritual Living. And for each and every person that is here, each and every person that sees us at another time, and for those who may need some extra prayer due to health problems or challenges, I should say. They're not a problem, it's a challenge. So I also know for them that that life is beautiful. It's magnificent. That spirit is well and whole and perfect and complete, and each and every person is well and whole and perfect and complete. That as we recognize, realize, and now claim that wholeness, that peace, that beauty in each and every person, I am grateful for John doing the music, for Michael doing the speaking today, for Hannah doing the Facebook feed, for Carol Ann and Kyle to be here, for Wayne and Deb here, even though they're not on camera, and for anybody else that we see or know that will watch this. So I just give thanks. I give thanks. I give thanks for all the good, for all the good that is happening right now, for all the healing that is happening right now. Healing is done. It's taken care of. And any doubts are released and let go back into the nothingness from which you came. So I know for the healing that it is all in divine order and it is good. It is good. It is great. So once again, I say thank you. And I release my word into the perfect law, which only says yes. And so it is. So I let it be.
Loving self-awareness, seeking to find greater wisdom, soul guiding mind, creative awareness, learning all to know, creative awareness, being what is so, being what is so.
And as you open your eyes, please take a moment to look into the camera, open up your cameras, and see the magnificent light and love that is in each and every one. So I say, Michael, you better get on there. So, all right. It's beautiful. John, was that a new song?
No, just one that comes around every once in a great while.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Okay. I liked it. All right. So I am going to turn this over to Michael, Reverend Michael, for our Palm Sunday talk.
All right. Let me get all adjusted here. Okay. John, can you hear me? Okay, good. Yeah. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending. Again, as Carol Ann would say, your presence is enough. And again, thank you for being here today. So today, Palm Sunday, begins the traditional Holy Week that leads to Easter next Sunday. And even though that the Science of Mind is not traditionally Christian, we are Christian-based, and many of our centers for spiritual living still celebrate Christmas and Easter. Our friends in the Unity movement are a little more Christian-based. However, the practical Christianity that is taught varies from community to community. So whenever that we hear at the summit that we celebrate a quote unquote Christian holy day, it is always done with the intention of teaching spiritual principles that are common in all the major religions. So as a warning, I will be using terms such as God, Jesus, the Bible, crucifixion, resurrection, Good Friday, and pizza. The last one was to see if you were awake. The warning is that you may notice some ouchy points or feelings as I talk from the Christian tradition. And I am not one to have people shy away from them. I say, okay, so you may have some unforgiveness in some areas based upon your own upbringing in the church, your interaction with others. Those are points of spiritual reflection and also growth. So instead of ignoring them, if you embrace them and find out the wonderful lesson through them, again, that's a part of your spiritual path. So if you have any reaction to the terms I use this morning, please contact me. All of you have my phone number, but also for those of you who are online, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com, if you have any questions. As said by Mile High's co-senior minister, Josh Reeves, he says that the Science of Mind is Christian-based and that you don't have to be a Christian to follow it. Isn't that wonderful? Because it's based upon spiritual principles. It's based upon universal ideas. My second warning is this, is that I use current biblical scholarship that sometimes is opposite of what we have learned growing up in the church. So consider yourself warned. My talk today is called Ride the Donkey, Release the Divine. And the story I have is in 2022, not that long ago. There was a small village in drought-stricken Kenya that faced a dire crisis, that there was no water, no access, no help. The salvation did not come from trucks or helicopters, but it came from a donkey. One donkey. Day after day, it carried heavy water jugs for miles, becoming the lifeline for the entire community. So at first it was ignored and also discounted, just a beast of burden. But when the village looked back, they realized the least likely had become a great blessing. So let me read today the scripture that's being read in many Christian churches. And for my Bible students, it's Mark 11, beginning of Mark 11. So as they were approaching Jerusalem near the Mount of Olives, he sent two of his disciples ahead of them and said, "Go into the village ahead of you, and immediately as you enter it, you will find tied there a colt that has never been ridden. Untie it and bring it. If anyone says to you, 'What are you doing?' just say that the Lord needs it, and we'll send it back here immediately." So they went away and found a colt tied near a door outside in the street. And as they were untying it, some of the bystanders said to them, "What are you doing untying the donkey?" And he told them what Jesus has said, and they allowed him to take it. And then they brought the colt to Jesus and then threw their coats on it, and then he sat on it. Many people spread their cloaks on the road, and others had spread leafy branches that they had cut in the fields. Then those who went ahead and who were following were shouting, "Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our ancestor David. Hosanna in the highest heaven." And then he entered into Jerusalem and went to the temple. And when he had looked around at everything, as it was late, he then went to Bethany with the 12. So Palm Sunday gives us an image here of Jesus the Christ riding not a war horse, but a humble donkey. No throne, no crown, just cloaks and palm branches. So the people, of which there were many in Jerusalem at that time because of the celebration of Passover, they were expecting a conquering king. And what they got instead was a peaceful savior and teacher riding on a donkey. It was never about flashy entrances for Jesus. It was about transforming hearts. And also, Jesus knew the danger for the stunt and the stunts that he was about to pull. So, from historian and theologian Elaine Pagel's book, which is brand new on the market, shameless plug for Dr. Pagels, her latest book is on the historical Jesus, and it's called Miracles and Wonders. She wrote this: "What he did next intensified the danger. Like Dr. Martin Luther King, he set up public demonstrations. Jesus and his followers ignited Passover crowds packed into the city to shout and acclaim him as the Son of David, Israel's King. If that entry was anything like Mark described, it surely would have alerted the Roman soldiers stationed in the holy city to expect trouble." Let me just stop there. So again, that Rome and its finest were in the city because, again, Passover, lots of people there, could have been trouble. So that's the reason why, again, that this little stunt of going into the city in this manner made a big difference. So the following morning, rather than retreating, Jesus walked back into Jerusalem and headed straight for the temple of God, shouting words from Israel's prophets while throwing down tables and scattering their contents. He would not allow anyone to carry anything through the temple. And what enraged temple authorities and the chief priests accosting him, demanding to know by what authority did he dare to do such things, he refused to even answer. So even though that the knocking over of tables in the temple, even though that's kind of violent, his entrance though was very nonviolent. And again, it was a nonviolent demonstration that proclaimed the kingdom of God rather than the empire of Rome. And again, instead of using the main entrance to Jerusalem like Herod did a few days earlier, again, and Herod didn't just come in a carriage. He came with a garrison of soldiers marching before him, and the I mean, a great procession coming in. Jesus used a side entrance. So some historians say that the arrival of Jesus into Jerusalem was a well-orchestrated, nonviolent protest. And believe me, it pissed the Romans off. And by the way, the Romans were the ones that crucified Jesus, not the Jews as implied in the New Testament. Crucifixion was a brutal form of execution that was reserved for insurrectionists who rebelled against the ruling Romans. And again, hanging on a cross, in public daylight, saying this is what will happen to you if you violate Roman law, if you are a rebel, if you go against the rule of the day. Well, let me ask you today, what if the path to your highest self begins on the back of a donkey? Begins very simply. So my first point today is letting go of the grand entrance here. So the people of Jerusalem were fired up. Palms waving, cloaks thrown down, shouts of Hosanna echoing through the streets. But make no mistake, what they got, what they expected is not what they got. They were looking for a spectacle, and they were looking for this warrior king, a Messiah who would overthrow Rome. But Jesus, no, he came in riding low and slow. Reminds me of that old 60s song, Lowrider. Go a little lower. Talking about the cars in the Latino community that were made to go as low as possible. No golden chariots here, no soldiers, just a donkey. So that donkey ride again was no accident. It was a deliberate spiritual message that the kingdom of God does not arrive through ego-driven displays. It comes quietly on the back of humility. Jesus could have chose any kind of symbol, but he chose the least flashy one. And why? It's because humility is the container through which divine power flows. Dr. Ernest Holmes says it like this. He says, true humility is not self-deprecation. It is the recognition that we are instruments of a higher power. And from the Unity tradition, one of Unity's co-founders, along with his wife, Myrtle, Charles Fillmore, wrote this: when we willingly humble ourselves and serve others, the Christ in us begins to rise. I'll say it again. When we willingly humble ourselves, serve others, the Christ in us begins to rise. So from New Thought tradition, we speak about aligning with the Christ within. But this alignment does not happen through striving and ambition. It begins when we lay aside the need to impress people, the need to make other people happy about all of our moves here. Again, like the crowds back then, we get so fixated on what we want God or Spirit to look like that we actually miss how Spirit is actually showing up in our lives. So letting go of the grand entrances of our lives means dropping the need to dominate or dazzle. it means choosing peace over performance. The donkey teaches us that divine impact does not require applause, but it requires authenticity and also surrender. Let me ask you a question here. Maybe there's a part of your life where you've been wanting to arrive, to be recognized, and yet that spirit within you might be inviting you to slow down, to serve, and to listen. So just as the donkey carried Jesus into the city, you are invited to carry the Christ consciousness into your world, not with noise, but with stillness, not with force, but with faith. So let the crowd chase the parade. You, well, if you want to, ride the donkey. So metaphysically here, there's also other meaning here, but Jesus riding on a donkey represents the spiritual taking dominion over the physical plane as we enter into our Jerusalem or holy place. So the second point I want to talk about is aligning with divine timing. So Jesus did not just ride the donkey, he did it at the perfect moment. He had been moving behind the scenes for many years, again, avoiding the political spotlight. But on this particular day, he told the disciples, go get the colt. He was ready. The time had come. So this was divine timing, not driven by the pressure of people, but by inner guidance. He knew that it was the time, not from the outside, but from a deep spiritual alignment with the Father that we call in New Thought the flow of spirit. Ernest Holmes again reminds us, he says that there is a power for good in the universe, greater than you are, and you can use it. And more importantly, it can also use you when you are in harmony with it. Charles Fillmore put it this way. He says, right timing is the fruit of spiritual understanding. To wait on the Lord is to align with divine order. So there is a Jerusalem moment for all of us here, a time which has been forming inwardly that starts to manifest in the outwardly. But forcing things blocks flow. Forcing things blocks flow. When we try to push the process, we create fiction or friction. But when we trust Spirit's timing, we walk in peace and power. So think about a musician who's playing out of sync with the band. So even if they played well, it still feels off. But when the timing aligns, though, everything flows. So when you're in the rhythm with Spirit, you don't need to force the doors open. They swing wide by grace. So palm branches here represent spiritual victory, but notice that the victory was not in the conquering of enemies. It was in Jesus saying yes to the moment. That surrender becomes triumph. So again, what about you? Are you notice that you want to rush something that the law is still forming? Are you feeling late or anxious to arrive? Are you wondering where the is your demonstration? Don't force it. Just stay aligned, stay present, trust the pace of grace. And also, again, just align yourself with the feelings that you already have it, because you do. So the third point here is walking the inner road to resurrection. So Palm Sunday is more than just a celebration. It's a threshold. It's the beginning of the end, which leads to another beginning. So it marks the beginning of the inner road towards transformation, towards your own version of resurrection. And just like Jesus, you don't arrive at resurrection instantly. You walk there one conscious step at a time. So in New Thought Perspective, and again, you can take many views of this. Resurrection is not only a historical event, it's also a symbol of spiritual awakening. And also resurrection also talks about the whole idea of eternal life, of rising above fear, above ego, and limitation into the fullness of our divine identity. But notice, though, that the path to resurrection begins with a donkey ride. It starts in surrender. And again, in spiritual circles, surrender is not about surrendering to your enemies. It is a surrender to the all that is you. It is the safe surrender. It is the surrender that doesn't have you going to your enemies with the white flag, but it's the surrender of, again, turning within and turning to that God as you. So this surrender continues through obedience to spiritual laws and principles and requires trust even when things look uncertain. So Jesus knew that walking into Jerusalem would lead to the cross. I mean, the way it was set up, I mean, he knew that he was stirring it. And he wasn't confused about the cost, yet he walked it anyway because he saw beyond the cross to the transformation on the other side. He was not led by fear, he was led by vision. Ernest Holmes wrote this. He said, "The road to freedom not lies through mysteries or occult performances, but through the intelligent use of natural forces and also spiritual laws." Your Jerusalem represents the center of your being, your heart, your sacred place, that place where transformation happens. To enter it, though, means to confront everything, yes, I said everything, in you that resists changes. That's old stories, it's wounds, fears, and attachments. But it also leads to the place where divine power rises, where the Christ within begins to take the lead. So you may be walking through your own Holy Week, a period where things feel uncertain, even heavy. And maybe your Hosanna moment is followed by silence or struggle. But don't stop walking, because resurrection is already encoded into your journey. And here's the beautiful paradox here. The lower that you go in surrender, the higher that you rise in spirit. Isn't that interesting? And that is the secret of the Christ pattern. You release to rise. You let go to be lifted. You release to rise, you let go to be lifted. So the donkey ride itself, it was a beginning of the end of smallness, a beginning of the end of ego, a beginning of the true spiritual self stepping forward. So take the inner road today. I encourage you to do that. Not with dread, but with boldness, knowing that the Christ within you is not afraid of the journey. It's already overcome it, and it's calling you forth not to die, but to wake up. So in closing here, Palm Sunday is not just the start of Holy Week. It's the start of something inside you. The journey of Jesus into Jerusalem is the same journey your soul takes every time that you choose to have humility over ego, alignment over anxiety, and transformation over comfort. You ride not to impress, but you ride to release. You surrender not to lose, but to be lifted. The donkey ride is symbolic. It's every unseen act of service, every quiet prayer, every decision to listen to spirit instead of the crowd and or race consciousness. Holmes wrote this. He said, "The spirit within you is God, and it is this spirit that is the giver of life. Your recognition of it ensures its activity in your experience. And that's what Palm Sunday is about today. It's about recognition, not waiting for a kingdom outside to arrive, but recognizing the Christ within you here and now, quietly riding into your Jerusalem, waiting for your welcome. So now the question is yours here. I leave it here with you. Will you walk this road? Not just towards Easter Sunday, but towards your own resurrection. Will you ride in with faith and humility? And are you willing to release the divine that's already within you? Thank you, and namaste.
Thank you, Michael. That was wonderful. That was really, really good. And knowing that as you walk, like the donkey moment, and that from that lower place, you're going to rise much higher. It's just wonderful, and you really did a good job with this. So I am going to turn this over to anybody else who may have a comment.
Well done, my man. That was great.
Very good.
Very inspiring.
Thank you.
I have to agree. Very, very well done. I like the thought of divine timing, that perfect timing when thing needs to be done, and really having to let things go.
You hit your mute button, honey.
Well, that was so good, you missed it.
No.
Very good. I agree much with John. And that whole idea of divine timing. And once we go inside and just, stay the course and waiting for that prompt that opens us and lifts us up and moving not in fear and frustration, but moving with the divine, opens so many doors so gently and so easily. And then you kind of look back and think, well, what was all that about? I didn't need that. And every time it happens, we get stronger and stronger. So thank you so much. It was a very powerful message, really amped everybody up here.
Very, very good. All right. John, you want to do a song?
All right. I thought it would be nice to do a springtime song. Maybe it'll help bring it a little more on here. It's been kind of winter-like spring so far, but we'll enjoy. Today's going to be nice, and we got a couple more nice days later in the week. Morning comes, the day is new. Hear again the song of life around you. The sun is out, birds are singing too. The clouds are light, the fields are wet with dew. We go for a walk in the morning, enjoying nature's life again. Listen now to the singing of the song of life we're living in. Afternoon, it's warm and quiet here. We see bees on fragrant flowers and a tear. Squirrels on high leap from tree to tree. Chipmunks at our feet are feeling free. We go for a walk in the afternoon, enjoying nature's life again. Listen now to the singing of the song of life we're living in. coming on, crickets have their say. Froggies croak good night to the closing day. The moon and stars tell earth that the night is here. The shadows of the trees and the grass draw near. We go for a walk in the evening, enjoying nature's life again. Listen now to the singing of the song of life we're living in. The night grows dark, thunder rolls around. Lightning flashes, trees dance to the sound. The wind and rain build up as the storm comes on. The power of nature peaks, then the storm calms down. Morning comes, the day is new. Hear again the song of life around you. Hear again the song of life around you.
Thank you, John. It's one of my favorite springtime songs. I really like that. Thank you. Okay, so it's that time in our service where we have the opportunity to give. There are several ways. You can go to Zelle or to PayPal, and you can give that way. And you would go to SSC of Akron, that's AKRON, at gmail.com to be able to donate. Or you can send a check to with the word Summit on it to 1199 Lexington Avenue, Akron, Ohio 44310. So those are the way to give. So let's symbolically take our gifts right over top and left, and just know with me that all that we have, all that we give, all that we receive is blessed in a very gracious manner, that love and peace and harmony is happening, and that it is blessed us, not only the giver, but we bless the gift as well as the giver, and grateful and thankful, and so it is. Okay, how about some good? And we're good, John.
Good, more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine. Unlimited, infinite good is mine. Wherever I go, I see good. Whatever I do, I feel oh so good. I'm worthy and entitled to good and more good. Good crowds itself upon us, wraps itself around us. We give ourselves permission to accept more good, express more good. Good, more good is ours, and ever increasing good is ours. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is.
Thank you, John. And it's time for announcements. Michael?
Yeah, so ntmedia.org is where I spend most of my week, ntmedia.org. And it has a really, we're switching over, or Dr. Roberts switching over to a brand new communications platform. If you go to it's to send us a prayer request, it's real simple. Just go to the website and press on prayer in the menu, and it brings you to a form. Or you just go ahead and you put ntmedia.org/prayer. It takes you to the form. The form itself, real easy to fill out. It's all kept confidential, and it immediately goes to our prayer team. There's no delay. There was a delay before because Dr. Robert had to send them out, but it immediately goes into the inbox of probably one of the best world-class teams I've ever worked with as far as prayer goes. So prayer at NT Media, if you just go ahead and ntmedia.org/prayer, it'll get there. Great shows working with Ruth Miller on the New Thought Roots and Branches. Man, I'll tell you what, it really is just wonderful finding out our roots. And again, that's free. It's all on, if you just go to YouTube, New Thought Media Network on YouTube, New Thought Media Network. Just put that in the search bar on YouTube, and man, there's all kinds of stuff there. So thank you.
John, do you have any?
Yeah, yeswise.com is where you'll find my Yeswise Inspiry. I was pulling up the other day. There's lots of archives that you can scroll through and find some interesting thoughts at yeswise.com.
Thank you. All right. And so I'll do the announcements for next week while we're here as well. Next week, Carol Ann will be our speaker for Easter Sunday. No. Oh, Tim. Oh my goodness. Carol Ann and I have the week off. So next week, our other musician, Tim Morrow, will be doing the Easter message. So, and he's
going to do the music too.
Well, his usual part of the music he does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you'll do the opening and the closing, but
right.
Yeah. So yeah, he's going to be our, so he'll be speaking, which will be great because he's an awesome speaker and we don't get to hear him speak very often. And then the week after that is John Miller, who is also an awesome speaker. So then we'll get into May, and either next week or today or whatever we can think about. Let's wait till next week and we'll decide what we're going to do for May. So obviously Carol Ann and I are going to have to work that.
We may be able to fit you in.
Might be able to. Okay. All right.
May be able to.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, that is pretty much what's coming up. And then it is now time for our moment of silence. And I'm going to
suggest that we hold up Deb in prayer. She had some surgery this week and she's recovering and could use a little help.
Absolutely. Deb Haley in prayer. Please put my fiance, my sister's fiance, Greg Hoover, in prayer. He had a major heart attack, and last Sunday night. And so, anyways,
it's seeing beyond the appearances here.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. So I'm going to bring us in and I'm going to bring us out. So. light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. Presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Life is real. Life is true. We are life, living as me and you. Joy is real. Joy is true. We are joy, living as me and you. Peace is real. Peace is true. We are peace, living as me and you. Love is real. Love is true. We are love, living as me and you. Living as me and you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Hannah, you can turn off our Facebook feed in exactly 30 minutes today.